GitHub issues. In this video, I'm going to cover GitHub issues and how you can use them to keep organized for the Capstone class. So here I am in my repo. It's called Sandbox. I have the various tabs. The issues are under the Issues tab, of course. Click there, you go there. The first step is if you press the question mark anywhere in GitHub, you'll get the keyboard shortcuts. These are especially useful for dealing with issues, so they let you move around really quickly. So the three words you need to know are issues, labels, and milestones. An issue is just something that needs to get done. It's like a to-do list item. The issues can be organized using labels, so you can label an issue as a bug or an enhancement. Those are the two big ones we use. And then milestones. A milestone is just a deadline. You will notice that in this course, I'm already giving you a bunch of milestones. They're listed right here. So these are the deadlines for this class. We're going to start by creating a milestone. To create a milestone, you just click on milestones, and then you say new milestone, and we're going to start with the description of personas milestone, and we'll notice that this is due in September 14th. So we set the deadline there, create a milestone, done. We have a milestone, it has no issues associated with it yet. So you can see we go here to issues, I have no open issues. So I'm going to create an issue for that milestone, add Alex persona to wiki. So we have to create a wiki page that adds the Alex persona. And who's going to do that? Who's going to create that wiki page? Well, that's where the assignee comes in. I have to assign a person to do it. I'm going to assign this to myself. As a rule, you want to have at most one person assigned to each issue. Because if you have two people, then it's not clear who's going to do it. It's fine to have 0 people assigned. That just means that we haven't decided who's going to do this. But it has to get done. So at most one person assigned to each issue. Try to go for that. And then the label is going to be enhancement pretty much. Oh, early on you have no bugs because you have no code. And then we're going to assign that to the milestone. So there you go. I just created an issue pretty quick. You see, once I create an issue, it gets a number. This is number 52. Each one has a unique number. And it's very important. You cannot delete an issue. As far as I know, there's no way to delete an issue. They're always there. You can close them. I'll go over that in a second. So here they are. It's assigned to me. It's got this label assigned to this milestone. And you see the issue page is just a big conversation. So I can, type, hello over there. And the idea here is that you have a conversation with the other people in the team about this issue and how you're going to do it, etc. Most of the time you don't need to, but every now and then it becomes very handy. One thing is, so this is assigned to me and I wrote it. So right now, if I comment on this issue, nobody else is going to see it, right? I mean, they're not going to get notified. So if I want somebody else to listen in, I have to @mention them. So I'm going to write @JamBidalRobot. That's another user here. And now, once I do that, I can say, how are you? So the moment I do that, now this user here is going to get that message notified. Typically, they get an email. So you can see this is the other user, and we go to that page, and he was mentioned there, and the robot can reply in binary because he's a robot. So the robot replies. The moment the robot replies, I switch over back, and you see, I already got the reply. So it's pretty quick. Another thing you can do is you can add reactions. So if I had a comment like, what we should do, ... what do you think? And then other people in the team can quickly go in and give it a plus or a minus. So these little reactions are a very nice way to do quick voting. Sub-issues. Another thing we can do are sub-issues. So I have this Alex persona wiki here. Say I want to break it down into subtasks. So I can just use Markdown. Say, in order to add the Alex persona, I need to first write the description, and then I need to add an image, and then I need to, add some other stuff. So I have 3 things there. So you see I just create little checkboxes which I can reorder by just drag and dropping, and I also can check them. But even more neat is if I go back to issues, you see it created this thing here. It says 1 out of 3 are done. And that is 1 because I have 1 checked. If I check 2 of them, it'll say 2 out of 3 are done. Closing. So let's say I did this, I implemented this wiki page, I'm ready to close it. So I would say the page is, and here, and I would add an actual link to the page. I don't have it here, and I would close and comment. So when I do that, now the issue is closed, and this is the important part. Whenever I close an issue, I want to give a description of why I am closing it. So when you close an issue, always say why, because otherwise you come back to a closed issue and you're like, why was this closed? I don't remember. So always say why it's closed, and notice that we go back to issues, there's no open issues, but the closed issues are all here. So I have a bunch of old stuff there, and they never go away. So you can always go back to a closed issue and decide, oh no, I'm going to reopen this shouldn't have been closed or whatever. So they're there forever, and it's a good thing. Now, once you start programming, you can close issues in a more automated way using the closes magic word. So let me just show you. Let me just do that. I'm going to create a new issue. It's called update the README file. I'm going to assign that to myself. This is an enhancement. And let's say yes, still for the same milestone. So I have this issue now that's open. And I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to do it through here, GitHub. So here's a README file. I can click here. You can edit files in GitHub itself. Now this is only useful for like text files. But it's very nice for doing it for text files. Where I can say updating this. So I updated the README file, and you see updating. And here I would say the magic word is closes and number, and I have to find the number of the issue, which is 53. So anywhere in the comment, doesn't have to be a beginning, it could be also in the subject line. I can say closes and then number and then the issue number. Once I commit that into master branch, which is what happens when I click here, it's going to do the usual commit, so it's committed like that. And you can see that it hyperlinked that to the issue. But when I go to the issue, it's closed. So it automatically closed the issue number 53. And so it's a fast way, as you're writing your code in your IDE, when you write your commit message, you just have to say closes, number, whatever, and push it, and it will close the issue automatically for you. Sprints. So one last thing I want to talk about are sprints. So here's the situation. Like in this course, at the end of the semester, we have to do a proof of concept implementation. And then somewhere around the mid-semester, say October 1st, I'm going to add issues for that milestone. So first, let me create that milestone. This is going to be my proof of concept implementation, and that's going to be due like way at the end of the semester. Let's say, I don't know, December 8 maybe. So I have that milestone, and then I'm going to have the issues I'm going to have for the milestones are going to be something like users can log in and log out. So they're going to be these very general, or rather general, issues that really a lot of things need to happen before the users can log in and log out. So it is now the middle of the semester, and you're going to start working on this. But to get to this, to actually be able to log in and log out, you need to do a bunch of stuff. So you have a meeting and you decide, well, what can we get done in the next week or 2 weeks? And that's your sprint, right? So a sprint is just another milestone. We implement it as a new milestone. And then let's say it's right now it's October 1st. And so the next sprint is going to be for 2 weeks from now. So the 15th. And so we call it the October 15th sprint. So I create this new milestone. You can do this. And now I have issues. I can add issues to that milestone. So I'll say, in order to do the login and logout, maybe I need to add the user accounts package to my framework. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to, that's an enhancement. Like I said, pretty much everything's going to be an enhancement for now. But that's going to be for this sprint. And here's the other thing you do. You can say for hash mark 54, right? So that is the one that's due at the end of the semester. So I just created this. This is like a first step towards getting this done. So that's why I said this is for that. The cool thing is if you go to that, number 54, GitHub automatically added this. So it says, oh, look, this guy referred this one here, and it's still open. So it keeps track of that. So when you go to issues, now I have those two, one due 2 weeks from now and the other one due at the end. But if I go to this one, I can see that it's got a sub issue there that somebody's working on. So even though this one is not assigned to anyone yet, people are working on it. They're just working on the steps towards that. So let me just add another one. So let's say another step would be add login page, or create a login page, and this one's going to be for the robot. He's going to do that, and same thing is going to be an enhancement, and the robot's going to do this on the sprint, and this is for number users can log in and log out. Now when I go to issues here, I have 2 issues for the sprint, and I have this one at the end, and now you see this one has 2 sub issues that I can see. So it's pretty neat. In this page you can filter, so if I only want to see the stuff that's due in the next 2 weeks, I can see this sprint, so I can filter by milestone. So I have 2 milestones there. And also, more importantly, I can see what I have to do. So I can see stuff that's assigned to me. One thing that unfortunately happens is, let's say October 15th rolls around and the robot, he was supposed to create the login page and he didn't. He didn't do anything. So what do we do? Well, as a team manager, the whole team has to decide what to do. But generally a good idea is, let's say the login page is like a really critical feature, which it is, right? So without a login page, you can't do a lot of all the other stuff. So you need to get that done. So you just assign somebody else. So the robot didn't do it, so I'm going to unassign it, assign somebody else, and then of course now it's October 15th, so we would have to assign this to the next milestone, which would be October 30th. You want to put best people into the critical features. So if you have a bunch of critical features, try to assign the people that can get them done to them, and people who don't do the work, you can give them issues that are not on the critical path. And eventually, at the end of the semester, you can always go to the issues here, see which ones are assigned to you and see how many you closed. So I can see, for example, I've closed that many. The robot, he's closed this many. So that means he's done these things. If he had done nothing, then he would be in trouble. Finally, you can go to the top here of GitHub issues, click on issues here, and this one shows you all my issues across all of GitHub. So across all my GitHub repos, what are my issues that I created, or the issues that are assigned to me, or issues where I have been mentioned.